Epcot Center in Florida. Welcome to Memorial Day coverage of the President's inaugural Bands Parade.
Now, as you may recall, in 1985, after President Reagan was elected for the second term, the weather in Washington, D.C. was really cold, and they had to cancel the inauguration parade. It was quite unfortunate. In came Michael Eisner to suggest that Ronald Reagan hold it here at Walt Disney World in the new Epcot Center. And he could come to the American Adventure, and then he could do the tour around the World Showcase Pavilion, the whole lagoon, and actually do the whole parade as though he was in Washington, D.C. And they invited many of the bands and other groups, and there was some people who put up money to help get everyone here, and that's what they did. Sounds like Marine One coming behind the American Adventure. Look at that. So Marine One landed right behind the American Adventure. It actually landed on the parking lot that's behind there. There's just enough room for a helicopter to land back there. So it did. And then the president got out, went upstairs into the American Adventure, into the lounge that's up on the second floor. There was a reception for him for a short time, maybe a half an hour or so. Then he came out and came behind the America Gardens, behind the American Adventure, and actually got in his presidential limo and started on the parade route. So let's pretend like we're the president and we're getting out on the parade route. We'll go to the start point here and we'll make our way out. So the presidential limo came from right behind there and came out onto the World Showcase Lagoon into the promenade area here. And as it made its turn around, it came to the pavilion, came through the lagoon, was on the promenade, and made its way around the lagoon. And there were throngs of people standing on either side, waving their arms and having a good time because the president was here at Epcot, which was kind of an unusual thing to have happen, but it was kind of cool. So we'll walk along part of the parade route here, and we'll wave to people as though we're the president. Hi people. I'm doing the parade route.
We did the other half. I'm gonna walk.
Here we go. So this is the way it would work. And I'm walking along by the American Adventure. And we're just going along here. Let's turn it around and walk the other way so you can see where we're going. So here we go. We're walking along the World Showcase Lagoon just as the president did in 1985. So here he was going right along here. So if you walk this route and you walk along the promenade here all the way around the lagoon, you are walking in the footsteps of a president because that's where he had his inauguration. There's something kind of cool about that. Even though it may be a little silly that he had his inauguration event here, it's still kind of cool to realize that you're walking in the footsteps of a president. And it's actually kind of interesting and neat in its own way. But the problem is it's kind of a long walk. So what we're going to do is we're going to speed this up just a little bit for you here. We'll go to a time-lapse mode so we can speed up the whole walk around the world. And of course, as he made his way back up, the limousine stopped in front of the America Gardens Theater, and there was a special pavilion set up for him that had bulletproof glass in it that he was sitting inside of. So he watched the rest of the parade from inside there. And that was set up right around here. So he stood inside it, and he waved to the people as they went by, as the parade crowd went by. It was all part of the inauguration.
Walt Disney, were he alive today, would be proud to be standing here in my place with the President of the United States. And I welcome him with Mrs. Lillian Disney, his widow, to our great, wonderful company here. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan.
Please all be seated. And I want to thank all of you. Well, indeed, it is an honor for me to be here today to receive a magnificent gift that I received, and a second and very much warmer Inauguration Day. Back in Missouri, in the early 1900s, there lived a farm boy who discovered that he had a knack for drawing barnyard animals. As an adult, he began to put his animals into cartoons, and he became convinced that he could entertain people by telling stories about a little creature with a high voice, red trousers and yellow shoes and white gloves. Professionals in the field made fun of the idea. And to produce his first cartoons, the young man had to sell or pawn virtually everything he owned. But today, 57 years later, this man and his creation have become permanently fixed in the history of our popular culture. His name was Walt Disney. His little creature was Mickey Mouse.